Getting ready is the kicker, Andrew Franks. And we are underway from Arrowhead. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. it. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
When you first see Joey Bosa, he's going to capture your attention. He's a big guy, kind of exuberant on the field, loves to play the game. What often gets overlooked about him, though, is his technique. Tremendous hand placement, able to take offensive tackles and work them back towards the quarterback. Had 10.5 sacks as a rookie in 2016.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into right protection scheme, so he doesn't...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
This is Ajayi. And not much running room. Down to the 32. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They run again with Ajayi. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive for them here on their home turf results in a field goal.
Now that's the way you want to get things started. Your stadium, your crowd, you've got the ball, put points on the board first, and let everyone start to celebrate.
So here's the Charger offense making their way out. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Stanley. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. They'll run it here. This is D'Onta Foreman.
Another miss.
Still on his feet. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play there for L.A. 44 yards on the ground. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Second down now after the incompletion.
Let's go! Green 39!
He'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack, although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times. Times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And Frank's kick is good. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. And it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They go play action here on first down. And some room to work. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. Crowder now to return. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. So out come the Chargers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Over!
They run again with Foreman, and he is knocked down from the side. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
No second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They run with a jive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. That's brought in by Davis over the middle. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another 1st down. Rodgers now on 1st down. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because You would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. That one good for 13 and a Charger first. Here's Foreman. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll rifle into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. There he goes left side, and he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a KC touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Around the NFL, we've got a second quarter score. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Here's Ajayi. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
DeForest Buckner is a really tall defensive end / defensive tackle. How about that move right there to get upfield and make the play in the offensive backfield? Excellent leverage.
You're right. Tall, big, 6'7", nearly 300 pounds. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Butker able to put this one through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So put another 3 on the board. And all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 2nd and just 1. Now Foreman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Again, it's Foreman. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's brought down. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now it's Ajayi. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Doesn't take any great analysis on my part. It's been pretty obvious. Last couple of plays, these guys have been going in the wrong direction.
Offensive line overwhelmed on those plays. Now, I think it's safe to say going to the air here on third. 3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. 319. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Checking things elsewhere, 3rd quarter now from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And not much trouble in that game for the Vikings. They've opened their lead further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run with Foreman, and they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now a handoff looking right. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now they try the right side here. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 1 yard is the gain, and it'll be a Los Angeles first down.
And yes, everyone, that was the fullback carrying the football. I know it's a dying breed, it's a dying position for a lot of people, but I still think it's valuable and important, especially one who can carry the ball.
And you need short yardage. What makes sense? Go to a big body, let him plow forward just like he did there.
It's still a big man's game.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And now it's 3rd down.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it, and he'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a handoff here to his running back, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they settled for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Williams. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to pump.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Justin Houston in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Anthony Hitchens with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so spectacular.